Hey guys, today we're going to do an unboxing and talk about the M-Audio M-Track Solo. This is a USB audio interface, two-channel USB audio interface with one crystal preamp phantom power instrument output. So I already did a video, I think a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, about the Focusrite 2i2, which was my previous USB audio interface. I didn't actually end up using that one very often, so I ended up selling it. But now I find myself needing another USB audio input because I want to have my own karaoke machine. Like, that's a weird reason to get a USB audio interface, but the truth of the matter is, if you buy one of those karaoke machines that, you know, it's a microphone with like built-in electronic functions where you can like plug in a USB or you can use Bluetooth or whatever. If you get one of those cheap ones, the sound just isn't very good. And I want to use my my guitar amp actually, because my Vox Mini 5 has a built-in mic input, but it's not very easy for me just to plug in a microphone to that. You would think that it's easy just to plug in a microphone, but it's not. I actually need to get a piece of equipment like a mixer or something like that with a mic preamp, and then output it to the mic input of my guitar amp. But a mixer is usually, you know, fairly heavy, and you have to carry around a dedicated power supply for it, which is annoying. Like, I have my Behringer mixer, but even that one's like a cheap mixer. It's still like kind of bulky because I still got to carry around its own dedicated power supply. And it's really more than I need, right? For something, I just need a mic preamp and then be able to output it to my mic input in my guitar amp. So yeah, I went for the M-Audio M-Track Solo because this is cheap. It's only like $50 US, and it's a small device I can just use to plug in my microphone and then use it to output somewhere else, like a mixer or my guitar amp. So let's see, you got input. Two inputs here, right? So this is trying to compete with the Focusrite Solo, I believe, Scarlett Solo. And this is much cheaper than the Focusrite. That's why I didn't get the Focusrite. It's because it's like, that's still like $150, right? It's still fairly expensive. This is only 50 bucks. So this is much cheaper than the Focusrite one. I'm not sure if the preamp is as good as the Focusrite, probably not, but at least it has a preamp which I can use. So yeah, two inputs, mic align. So I believe the company that owned Pro Tools, which is Avid, I think, also owned M-Audio for a while, and now M-Audio is owned by a different company, but they still have an association with Pro Tools. Anyways, it's nice to have this extra free software when this thing's only 50 bucks, right? It's pretty affordable, so it's nice to get extras like that. Yeah, it looks like for free. Pretty nice. So yeah, the M-Audio Solo is meant to compete with the Focusrite Scarlett Solo at a cheaper price point, of course. And really, it's the simplest two-channel interface you can get. There's only one mic preamp and then one line input, which is your guitar input. So yeah, like usually USB interfaces, you have like two mic preamps. This one only has one, so cut down the costs. They call it the crystal preamp. Yeah, so that's the only word for their mic preamp technology. I'm not sure how good it is. 48 volt phantom power. That's really nice. It's another reason to get something like this for my needs, which is like, I want to have a good, you know, microphone for doing karaoke. So if you want to do like condenser mics, if you want to use condenser mics, you need to have 48 volt phantom power. You can't just plug it in straight into like a mic input or something like that. You need to have phantom power. So that's why usually you would use a mixer, but mixers are usually quite bulky. So the alternative is to get a recording interface like this with a preamp that has 48 volt phantom power, so you can connect condenser mics, which are usually better, better for vocals than using a standard dynamic mic. So yeah, and that's really it. Let's just open up the box and take a look. M-Audio M-Track Solo User Guide. So of course you got the user guide here. Okay, and then latest drivers, of course, connected to a computer. So yeah, I mean, my use case for getting this is a little bit different from everyone else's, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to use it for connecting to my computer. There are times that I might actually connect my guitar to my computer to record some stuff. So that's another reason I got this. So yeah, it's yeah, that's the usual use case for getting a USB recording interface, right? It's to record your guitar and vocals, right? Set it up and connect it to your computer, and then use a DAW. Okay, so I can connect it to monitors as well. I do have some powered monitors I can connect to. But that's connected to my mixer right now. But in this case, I'm actually going to use my guitar amp as essentially the monitor for it. Microphone, guitar, headphones goes in there. Yeah. So it's some nice instructions for those of you who are musicians. A really nice device for that, of course, and it's very small and portable, which is what I like. This is a USB Type B cable. I think a lot of these audio interfaces use USB Type B. I'm not sure what the advantages are of Type B over Type C. I would think that they should still use Type C, but I don't know. Maybe Type B is cheaper for some reason. I'm actually not sure what's the exact differences, like why they have to use Type B instead of Type A, or why there's no Type C. But yeah, usually audio interfaces are one of the only equipment I've seen, like printers. Printers is the other one. Printers and yeah, USB audio interfaces. Like one of my guitar pedals, the looper pedal, also uses this Type B interface. So you don't see these very often, USB Type B, but usually these kind of devices that use them. Again, not sure why they have to use that. Okay, so here's the M-Audio M-Track Solo. You have two volume controls here. One's for input 1, one's for input 2, and I guess this will be LEDs for showing the clipping and the signal. And then the master volume output, I'm guessing. So this is kind of like in a mixer. You have the master volume, like main mix type of volume right here. You have phantom power indicator right here. And yeah, you have one mic preamp. Again, this is the simplest two-channel USB audio interface. So just one mic preamp. And then you have one guitar input or line input right here. You can switch between guitar input and line input actually. So I think the guitar input, yeah, maybe it's optimized, you know, for your guitar signal, and then line input is if you want to connect an auxiliary device to it. So if you want to connect your, I don't know, MP3 player, maybe could work as well. In theory, right? Line input. So you could use this as an aux input if you use the line. Then if you want to plug your guitar in, I guess this is optimized for the guitar signal. Phantom power, you can turn it on like that if you're using a condenser mic, right? Usually better quality for vocals than a dynamic mic. Headphone out, probably going to use, I guess I could use either the RCA. So I would have to use an RCA into a 3.5 or 1/4 inch jack probably. Yeah, so if I get a 3.5 into a 1/4 inch, I guess that would probably be the main way. But I can also use the 3.5 to 3.5 and use the headphone jack as the output. I can do the output as direct or USB. And I don't know, like this crystal preamps thing is just a marketing thing probably. I'm not sure. I don't think this anything really special about the preamps here. For a $50 device, I wouldn't expect it to be. And InMusic, this brand, oh, this is the parent company of M-Audio. Now they're located in Germany. Used to be owned by Avid. And then yeah, the main outs here. This is if you want to connect it to studio monitors or a mixer, or in my case, I'm connecting it to my guitar mic input. Then use the main outs here, and a USB input for your computer. So that's what most people would probably use this for. Is for as a USB recording interface, connect it to the computer. Then connect a mic and a guitar in and start recording. So yeah, anyways, I'm gonna test this out with my guitar input, and hopefully it's gonna be a nice little homemade karaoke machine. And yeah, the other thing I gotta mention is, you might be wondering, why not just buy one of those like portable karaoke machines, you know, for Amazon or something like that. Like I said, the really portable ones where you like it's tied to the microphone is not very good quality, and then the bigger ones are obviously not very portable. So there's really no in between that I've seen. Like you're either carrying like a portable PA speaker, which is still too big. That's like the smallest. I guess that's like the smallest portable karaoke machines that I've seen, is like a portable PA type speaker system. Even those are too big though. Even those are still bigger than my Vox Mini 5. Like for me, I have to use this kind of DIY karaoke setup, because no one has actually made a system where it's like a really portable karaoke system that's good quality. So someone should make a karaoke system that's better than using a handheld mic, and it's more portable than one of those portable PA speaker systems. Alright, so now I have the M-Track Solo hooked up to my guitar amps, and yeah, something weird about the M-Audio M-Track Solo is that it uses this USB-B input as power as well. So you actually, if you want to be able to power this, you have to hook it up to your computer normally, right? So you would use this USB Type B connector to hook it up to your computer. Unfortunately, this is the only way to power the unit. So if you don't want to bring along your computer, but you still want to power this unit, in this case, I don't want to drag along my computer for every karaoke event. Then you just have to, like, for me, I had to use my power. I have a battery pack right here powering this USB type B input. So yeah, this is the only source of power for the M-Track Solo. So if you want to power this, then you have to either connect it to a computer or connect it to a battery pack like I have here, or connect it to a wall wart. That takes in USB type A inputs, because actually USB type A is how it connects. So yeah, if you just want to power it by itself, then you have to connect it like that. So yes, now that I have it powered, I actually wanted to try it with a smaller amp first. So this is an even smaller amp than my Box Mini 5. This is a Positive Grid Spark Mini. It is positively, like, minuscule. It is like one of the smallest guitar amps I've seen, right? I mean, I've also owned the Boss Katana Mini, actually, was what I used in my last video with the Focusrite Scarlett. But this is even smaller than the Boss Katana Mini is. And yeah, I just wanted to check it out. This has a line out here and also an aux in, but the aux in is actually for, if I'm going to be using this for karaoke, it's probably better if I just plug in my smartphone here, or like a tablet or something like that, and then that's what I use for the playing the karaoke background music. So I'm not going to use the aux in jack, although you could use this as well. Instead, I'm actually using the guitar input. I mean, there's really not much, there's only really two inputs here, right? The aux in and the guitar input, so it's not much choice. If I want to use like the aux in to play background music, then I should probably yeah, use this guitar input for the microphone. So using the guitar input for the microphone is a little bit weird, but yeah, I'll show you guys how it sounds. So I have a Shure SM48 mic here, and Shure is one of the most well-known makers of microphones, very, very popular and famous. So I'm going to use a dynamic mic here in this video, although I could use a condenser mic as well. Like I said, the phantom power on this M-Track Solo means I could also plug in a condenser mic if I wanted to. But just for this video, it's easier for me just to use this dynamic mic since I already have it on hand. So yeah, it's plugged into my Spark Mini input of my, it's a guitar input. I know, it's weird, but let's see how it works, how well it works here, okay? M-Track Solo, I have to put this all the way up. So output power up to 10. So I put this all the way up. It's still a little bit small. I actually have to put in the, this is the main input 1. So that I have the mic plugged into input 1 right now, the mic preamp. Yeah, this is like the crystal preamp or whatever, although I think that's just a marketing thing. I'm not really sure. I don't know how I would tell a good mic preamp from a bad one anyways, but seems to be better as I turn up the volume. And I know there's a bit of echo on here, and I think that's probably the preset I'm using here on this. Hello, hello, hello. So if I switch it to lead, no, it's a little bit too much. Okay, so there is a bit of echo. I think that's just because of this guitar input right here. Okay, so what I ended up having to do to get this usable is on this rhythm preset setting here, I used to have this weird echo effect. What I did was I hooked it up with the Spark app. This is the Positive Grid Spark app on the phone. Hooked it up to the Spark Mini and went into the rhythm setting, and I disabled the delay. And now there is no no weird echo effect on my voice, although I can still put reverb, and having reverb on this input is still okay actually, because having a little bit of reverb on the mic is actually preferable when you're singing karaoke, but the delay obviously is not preferable. That's just too much, and I know it's weird using amp modeling software for a mic input, but that's what I'm testing it out with here. It's actually a fairly portable solution. Like, imagine having to overdrive wah-wah on your voice, right? That's a weird effect. But I think all I really need on this input here is really reverb. There's compression on it. I guess I could get rid of the compression, but the compression actually might be sort of useful as well. So just compressor and reverb is what I'll be using on this rhythm input, and it's the lowest gain input right now, and I think it seems to be working. So I think this is actually usable. So yeah, this is this small guitar amp. I'm using the guitar input and the rhythm preset, some modifications along with the M-Track Solo. Seems to be actually working for using this mic. This is the other option I could use, is my Vox Mini 5 amp. It is quite a bit bigger than my Spark Mini amp, as you can see. My Spark Mini amp is yeah, it's like a fraction of the size of the Vox Mini 5. But the Vox Mini 5 does have a dedicated mic input because this is originally a busking amp. So I guess if I had room, I could bring the Vox Mini 5, and this is a better quality. Yeah, because I don't have to like put in the mic into the guitar input and try to fool around with settings anymore. The Vox Mini 5 has as you can see here, has a dedicated mic input with trim and send settings. And also it's battery powered as well. It just takes in more batteries. It's 6 AA batteries instead of the rechargeable battery, like the USB-C input on the Spark Mini. So definitely this one is still battery powered, still portable-ish, just bigger and takes in more juice. But it does also have a better mic input. So this is input specifically for the mic. Also trim and send settings. So if you really wanted to be serious about this karaoke DIY machine, then this is probably the way to go. So, and plus this also has aux in as well, so I can like play my background music into here. So yeah, this is the mic input of the Vox Mini 5. This is definitely better quality, but I just have to lug something a little bit bigger around. And this is the input of the Spark Mini. And this is definitely more portable, although it doesn't sound quite as good as the Vox Mini 5 does. Of course, this is also accounting for the fact that the Spark Mini has a much smaller speaker too. So of course the Mini 5 is going to sound louder, but also I'm using a guitar input here, whereas the Mini 5 had a dedicated mic in. So yeah, this is probably more preferable, but again, it's cool that I can get the M-Track Solo working with both of these devices. Also, another really cool feature of the Mini 5 is just like with the Positive Grid Spark Mini app, I can also add some effects if I wanted to my voice. So here, you can see there's actually a few effects that I've built in here. The bottom ones with modulation I can actually change. So there's some reverb here. So like this is room reverb right now. So I can adjust the amount of room reverb. So this is like max room reverb. This is spring reverb. I can make my voice have spring reverb if I wanted to. Like I said, a little bit of reverb on the mic input is nice when you're singing karaoke. I think that's what most karaoke machines would have anyways. Then there's echo. So this is a echo setting. Again, this is not very preferable for a mic input, but you can put echo on your voice if you want to. And then there's analog delay. You can actually put analog delay on your voice too. So there are a few settings on this amp that will work with this mic input, but I'm just going to keep it to the room reverb setting. I think that's going to be the most natural here. Just yeah, having echo or delay on the voice is a bit weird, but having a little bit of room reverb is nice. Alright, so this is my DIY portable karaoke setup right now. I have the M-Audio M-Track Solo here, sort of the interface to be able to use the mic preamp and then have it output to my Vox guitar amp right here. I'm using the Vox for this demonstration. I could also use the Positive Grid, but I think the Vox sound quality is a bit better because of the dedicated mic input. And then I have my iPad Air. This is a 2022 iPad Air hooked up to the aux input jack of the guitar amp, and I have to use an adapter because the newest iPads don't have a headphone out. And then how I'm powering it all is it's basically all portable. There is no mains power needed for any of this. My Vox is powered with 6 AA batteries. iPad obviously has a battery. The M-Audio is powered with a portable power brick right now. It's my battery pack powering the M-Audio. And yeah, I'm using my Shure SM48 mic. So this is my little DIY portable karaoke setup. I can fit all of this into a backpack if I wanted to. Maybe not the Vox amp, but I could use a bigger backpack for the Vox amp. But then again, I could also use the Positive Grid Spark amp as well if I really wanted to fit it all in a normal backpack. But anyways, yeah, I'm just going to demonstrate it right now. I'm going to play a song on my iPad, which is connected to the aux jack. So this is normally how I would do it if I were to let's play some karaoke songs. So let's go with New Jeans Hurt. This is a K-pop song. Set the output volume correctly. Alright, let's get the right volume here for the background track. Alright, here we go. 보고 싶은 생각에 들어간 우리 청에 나는 말을 걷는데
은은해지는 하늘에 느린 한 마리 보라 조용함이 더 좋아 기다리고 있지만 매일 이럴까 아냐 눈침이 없어 게임 같은 건 답이 없어 아무리 좋아도 no 말로만 지켜온 거 만져와서 보여줘 만져와서 보여줘 'Cause I'm not gonna be the one to get hurt nah I'm not gonna be the one to get hurt nah I'm not gonna be the one to get hurt I'm not gonna be the one to get hurt I'm not gonna be the one to get hurt I'm not gonna be the one to get hurt 잠들기 전에 그리고 또 아침에 쥐고 있는 네 손에 너 없는 화면은 내 느린 한 마리보다 조용함이 더 좋아 기다리고 있지만 매일 이럴까 아냐 넌 재미없어 게임 같은 건 답이 없어 아무리 좋아도 no 말로만 지켜온 거 먼저 와서 보여줘 먼저 와서 보여줘 'Cause I'm not gonna be the one to get hurt oh I'm not gonna be the one to get hurt I'm not gonna be the one to get hurt Not gonna be the one to get hurt 여기까지야 내가 와 있는 곳은 너무 멀었어 Not gonna be the one to get hurt 여기까지야 내가 와는 이곳은 너무 멀었어 Not gonna be the one to get hurt
Alright, cool. And yeah, that's it. That's my demonstration. By the way, I do have a little bit of reverb on the amp. Like I said, I put a little bit of room reverb on the amp just to make it sound a little bit more, give it a little bit more ambience. But yeah, seems like this portable DIY karaoke setup is working pretty decently, I'd say. And yeah, hopefully I can fit it all in the backpack. Not sure, like this one I think will fit in the big backpack though, the mini Vox Mini 5. But if I had a normal size backpack, I would just use the Positive Grid Spark Mini amp. But I have to change some of the settings to get rid of the echo effect on the rhythm channel. But yeah, I think otherwise the M-Track Solo does what I wanted to do. And of course I can also use that as a USB recording interface because that's what it's meant for. Yeah, I'm just using this for my own yeah, kind of a different purpose than what it's intended for, but seems to work pretty decently. So that's it guys. As always, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think in the comment section below.